As of today, I've made over $100,000 in the stock market, and I want to tell you how I got to this point. So I got false banned from Hypixel Skyblock, which was what I spent most of my time doing. So I thought, well, let's make money in real life then. Starting 2023, after I got false wiped, I had $0 in my bank account. So what I did was I started working. I got a job as a security guard. I got my security guard card. I got my EMT, and I started working a lot. I had a lot of free time, obviously, after spending thousands of hours in this video game, and I learned quite a bit from it. So after working, I realized that I could be doing a little bit more. I currently was still in school, but I was only doing my prereqs for nursing, so I had, a bit of free time still. My current job, security, was actually very relaxed. I had a lot of free time at work, and so I started looking into what I could do on the side. And what I found was flipping stuff. So I started reselling drones. And this actually became a thing because at first I wanted to just fly drones and sell the footage. It seemed like an easy side business, and I don't know, it seemed kind of fun. So I got my Part 107 drone license, and I bought a drone. And then I found a better deal on a drone, so I bought that and sold the original one. And then I found an even better deal on an even nicer drone. So I bought that one and sold the second drone. And then I realized I just made like $300 off doing nothing, and there were more deals to buy. And so I just never really got into flying the drones, and I just kept reselling them. And I did this while working a ton, still in school, of course. Obviously having a career is actually what's going to get you to retirement, but I wasn't going to let this die because it was free money in the meantime. So I just started working, kept working a ton, selling drones, and I sold a lot. Drone, 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 drone. It just kept coming in, and it felt like I was on fire. It was untouchable. And, of course, all good things come to an end. The end of 2024, well, at the beginning of 2024, after the first year, I had saved $50,000, which seemed crazy to me at the time. This was no investing, no nothing. This was just pure reselling. I was using every dollar of capital back into the reselling business. And I was making pretty good money. Revenue was about $10,000 a month, 10 to 15, and profit was 2 to 3. Then came the second year. I did nothing different with the business, but I optimized it. I got my reselling license, so I didn't pay sales tax. I started credit card churning, so I made an extra couple percent. And an extra couple percent on a low margin business meant I took my 20% margin and I made it 30%. I took $40,000 a year in income, and I turned it into $60,000 a year of income just from a couple percent of credit card cash back and not paying sales tax. So that stuff adds up. Optimizing is a big deal, guys. So that second year, I didn't work nearly as much. Nursing school picked up, and I had a lot more, stuff going on. But I just resold and resold and resold, and I ended up selling $250,000 of drones within that year, which profit-wise, much lower. But I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, $250,000 in revenue. Isn't that crazy? I thought that was super crazy. I thought that was so cool. Of course, all the good things come to an end. This has completely died come 2025. But starting off, ending the year in 2024, I ended the year near $150,000 of savings, which was crazy for me. I didn't think that, $100,000 in a year seemed absurd to me. And of course, things did slow down after that. I basically stopped having any income after that because nursing school picked up. I started working part-time in the hospital now instead of as a security guard because I wanted experience in the field as a nursing assistant. And so I'm basically working for free, guys. Like, genuinely, my bills are way higher than my current income. I'm losing money every month just to do this, but I want to do the best that I can to be the best in the field that I can. And so experience is really the best way to do that so that I'm prepared. So, sacrifice I'm willing to make. But because of that, I've made no money. In fact, I've only lost money in this past year because drones have stopped and my income is so low. And yet, I've took that $150,000 net worth from December, and 9 months later, I'm now at $220,000 net worth just from investing. And all of that is from a couple good investments. I'm going to preface this by saying I got really lucky This is not normal returns. This is not normal risk tolerance. I was gambling, guys, but I hit. Woo! Anyway, I got really lucky. I got Dutch Bros really cheap. Basically doubled my money there. Then I've been dollar cost averaging the whole time. So my like total return, because I keep, you average up as you keep going, is only a little over 100%. But my money weighted return is over 400% because, I kept adding at higher and higher prices. But, if I hadn't been, my total return's about 400% right now, which is what Weeble's showing right now. Because, I rolled that Roth over 100% gain. I then bought Google at 160, and then I averaged down to 140 or so. And I ended up selling that at about $200 a share, which was, Google went up to 230. It went up another 15% after that. But actually, it went up more than 15%. Yeah, 15%. But I only sold it because United Health got so cheap. I had to, top opportunity was just screaming for me. So I bought United Health all the way down to 234 a share. I'm so proud of those purchases. I got 111 shares at basically the cheapest that stock has ever been and ever will be, in my opinion. And now we're back up to like $360 a share. It's crazy. I did not expect this kind of rebound from United Health. This is like a 5-year hold for me, but crazy stuff. And it's carried me in the last like 3 months from not really that much stock market gains. Most of my money was from reselling, but after the reselling died down, I put all that money into the stock market and I've doubled it in that time. I'm up over $110,000 now total stock market returns, which has pushed me from, in less than 3 years since I got false swiped, I'm sitting at $220,000 in total gains, which I think is pretty crazy. And I'm not trying to like gloat. I'm just trying to give you guys an update about like, you can do it. Like, I started from nothing and I got really lucky. I'm not saying I didn't. I got really lucky. I've been fortunate that my living expenses are fairly low right now, even though they are still negative. They're on the lower end. So the amount that I'm losing each month by, only earning $1,400 a month for my job is not horrible. I live pretty cheaply. I have started dating someone, and that has added some costs, of course. But, even considering that, probably the stock market gains is the only reason that things have been going well. And yeah, I just keep an eye out for like the actual skills you're learning and all aspects of your life. Like, don't discount something like Skyblock as, just worthless, because at a certain point it's a video game. Don't spend your entire life doing this, but you already put time into it. See what you did learn that is applicable to the rest of, actual life. For me, that was flipping stuff, lowballing, like pricing, reselling stuff. Genuinely carried over pretty directly, especially lowballing. Like, that skill is a real skill. Like, it sounds funny, but no, it really is, especially on something low margin. Like, if I was buying something for $1,200 that I knew was worth $1,300, yeah, most people wouldn't buy that, but I knew exactly that it was going to sell for $1,300 after fees or locally for $13 cash. And if I negotiate the guy down to $1,000, yeah, that's only a little under 10% off. Yet I'm doubling my money. I'm now making $200 instead of $100. So that lowballing really matters. Like, it's critical, especially in lower margin, higher volume businesses, which is what this was. Every couple percent was a lot of extra money. Buying that drone for $1,000 instead of $1,200 really does mean the difference between like $40,000 a year and $20,000 a year, which is what really like solidified the profits that second year. Of course, things have slowed down by now, but I just, I want to give you guys an update about how things are going, and I hope you guys will stay subscribed for how things go in the future. I'm not an investment channel, but I will be pivoting to more real life stuff. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't give you guys financial advice. I can tell you what I'm doing, which is I am owning my United Health, and I'm sticking with it until something pivotal changes with the business or until it gets to a price I think is worth selling. But that doesn't mean it's worth buying, and especially not at the risk tolerance and the allocation I have it at. I'm gambling, guys. Realistically, like, don't do this. It's not, you don't want to lose money, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't invest. Investing is I'm not going to say safe, but over a long enough period with a diverse fund that you are not buying and selling all the time, it is fairly safe. Again, not financial advice, but I don't think there is a 20-year period where stocks haven't gone up, like ever. So if you're, young and you're going to be investing for 35, 40 years, you're going to make money. I mean, you're going to double, quadruple, quintuple your money by the time you retire if you just invest in a broad index fund and don't try and outsmart the market. The market is not where you're going to outsmart it, right? Reselling something is where you outsmart it. Getting a job and going into a good field is where you outsmart it. Trying to buy GameStop or trying to short Nvidia at the top or buy open door, that's not where you're going to make your money. I happen to gamble and I happen to win. That doesn't mean I know anything, right? I'm trying to make that clear. I try and make that always clear with my videos, even when it's Minecraft focused, that just because I'm recommending something doesn't mean that I am, that I'm Warren Buffett, that I know everything, that I'm the Oracle, right? I really am not. I'm a random person. I'm a random young 20s kid. There's nothing that you should really take with more than, any hint of actual seriousness. But anyway, that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. I think this has been pretty crazy. Getting fall swipes was probably the best thing that ever happened to me. Oh yeah, Skyblock update for those that are curious. I'm up to like 70 billion coins. I don't play this game at all. I just invest, log on, sell my investments. The Bane of Arthropods investment, if you guys are curious, I had 1,000 of these. I paid like maybe 1.5 mil total or per. So that's 1.5 bill, and I'm selling them for 3.5 bill, which is actually way cheaper than these are worth. I've been selling these to viewers and then just random people. That's a big discount. These I could sell for like 7 mil per if I really wanted to wait, which would be a lot more money. But even still, that's 2 million coins profit. And I've just had a lot of investment wins over time, and I have some that I think are going to do great in the future. I'm expecting within the next year to be over 100 bill for sure without touching the game at all. And I don't invest in skins. I think they're boring, just so you guys know, even if they might make money. I like to do updates. I like to do reworks. I like to do item changes. I think that's where the fun is. I don't like pyramid scheme kind of stuff. Same with real life. I'm not buying crypto. I'm not buying gold. I'm not buying low supply, no inherent value, store value kind of things. I'm not trading currency. Not saying there isn't money to be made there. People do it and everything. But I'm just saying I don't like it. In Skyblock, I don't think it's fun. In real life, I just don't believe in it long term. But that doesn't mean that there isn't a market for it. I'm not saying that people can't buy Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Fartcoin, whatever, and be millionaires too. I'm just saying I don't think the risk, and for me, is worth the reward of maybe not retiring. You can buy a broad index fund, do everything right, and you will retire. You buy Fartcoin and your other cryptos, and maybe you do super well, but maybe you don't. And that maybe you don't is why it's not worth it for me, because there isn't much of a maybe you don't investing in a well diversified index fund for 40 years. You're just going to retire, and you're going to retire wealthy. Again, not a guarantee. We could have World War III and the whole world blows up. But anyway, at that point, I think we'd have bigger problems than retirement. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully Garden Slayer is soonish. And I'll show you guys what my investments... Well, I have a lot of little investments that I don't really want to show you guys until afterwards because I'm still buying them, or because I know it would inflate the price way too high that people would lose money. You guys would lose money by the time that the video went live. So I'll just show you after the fact. I'm not someone that hypes stuff so I can sell them afterwards. I don't sell to my viewers ever. So if I think something's going to get just pumped up, I just don't even mention it in the video. So I'll show you guys after the updates drop if I had a ton of profits from that kind of stuff that I didn't mention. And yeah, thanks for watching. Pretty crazy stuff. $200,000. Freaking wild. Next up, 500K, then a million, and then 2 million. After that, each million is still a milestone. I'm not going to go, and then 5 million, and then 10 million, and then 100 million. No. But, yeah. Hopefully we get it to 300K at some point reasonable. And keep you guys in the loop. Let's make this happen. Peace.